Good evening, and welcome to Neutral News, the program that looks at the world, tilts its head, and quietly wonders if it's all some sort of elaborate practical joke. Tonight, we are dispatching our investigative team to observe a truly remarkable species in its natural habitat. A creature of baffling contradictions, capable of both heart-melting affection and sanity-shredding irrationality, often within the same sentence. We are, of course, talking about the human child, aged 5 to 12. For more on this long-running and deeply confusing experiment in anthropology, we go to our domestic sociologist, Susan. Susan.
Neil, the primary finding from our field studies is that life with a subject in this age bracket is less about parenting and more about acting as the bewildered curator of a living, breathing museum of illogical wonders. Take, for example, their communication. The subjects have developed a highly advanced form of selective hearing, an auditory filter so sophisticated it can block out a direct instruction given from 2 feet away, yet detect the rustle of a biscuit wrapper from a neighboring county.
A superpower, in essence. One that would be the envy of any spy, or indeed any husband. And what about their own verbal output? I understand it's prolific.
Extraordinarily so. A 7-year-old's daily monologue can cover a wider range of subjects than a bank holiday edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica. These often take the form of the endless why. The line of questioning begins in a reasonable, scientific manner. Why is the sky blue? But rapidly descends into abstract metaphysical chaos. Why do my elbows feel pointy? If I eat this Lego, will my thoughts be more structured? Why are Tuesdays? The parent is expected to have a plausible answer for all of these.
It's less the Socratic method, more a philosophical filibuster, a form of intellectual interrogation. And when they aren't asking questions, I'm told they are making statements. Statements that don't always align with our conventional understanding of the truth.
You're referring to their burgeoning talent for creative fiction, Neil. It's a mistake to call it lying. It's more an improvised, one-person storytelling festival. When a plate of biscuits is found empty, the 9-year-old doesn't confess. Instead, they will weave a compelling narrative involving a gang of unusually acrobatic squirrels who have developed a taste for custard creams. The sheer conviction is breathtaking. They don't just tell the story, they inhabit it. For a moment, you almost believe them, until you notice the crumbs coating their entire face.
So, it's not deception, it's performance art. Let's move on to the physical world they inhabit. I'm told their approach to nutrition is particularly bespoke.
The palate of a child in this demographic is a culinary enigma, Neil. It operates on a complex and contradictory set of rules. Foods are often judged not on taste, but on color and geometry. Beige is generally considered safe. Anything green is treated with the suspicion usually reserved for a live scorpion in their cornflakes. 2 foods that are perfectly acceptable on their own, such as chicken and potatoes, will become an unacceptable breach of gastronomic protocol if they are touching on the plate.
It's like being a personal chef for a famously difficult monarch with an extreme food-based phobia. And once this meticulously vetted fuel is on board, how is it expended? Through responsible, organized activity?
Rarely. The subject's relationship with energy is one of boom and bust. They can sustain a state of pure chaotic motion for hours, a whirlwind of running, jumping and shouting, only to collapse in a heap and declare a state of terminal boredom, approximately 4 minutes after returning from a trip to what was advertised as the world's most exciting theme park. The phrase, "I'm bored," is less a statement of fact and more a sort of verbal reset button, signaling that all previous entertainment is now null and void.
And this energy, this chaos, must be contained somewhere. Let's talk about the bedroom.
The child's bedroom is a fascinating micro-habitat, Neil. It is a bold, real-world experiment in the second law of thermodynamics, demonstrating how a closed system will always trend towards maximum entropy. It is less a room and more a complex three-dimensional collage. The floor becomes a secondary wardrobe, a library, and occasionally a pantry for fossilized apple cores. Parents report that locating a matching pair of socks within this environment requires the skills of a forensic investigator and the luck of a lottery winner. Often, a single shoe will vanish into a domestic black hole somewhere between the front door and the car.
It's not a mess. It's an immersive art installation titled Despair. Now, this is often complicated by the introduction of a second subject, a sibling. How does that affect the ecosystem?
Introducing a sibling transforms the environment from a simple, chaotic system into a complex and unstable one. It's a perpetual social experiment in resource management. The last piece of cake, control of the television, or even a preferred seating position on the sofa can become the subject of disputes so intense they make parliamentary debates look like a calm exchange of pleasantries. Possessions are guarded with the ferocity of a dragon hoarding gold. A toy that has lain untouched and unloved for 3 years will suddenly become an object of immense sentimental value the very moment a sibling shows a flicker of interest in it.
A kind of reverse psychology of ownership. I don't want it, but I'll be damned if you're having it. What about their interactions with the outside world? Friendships, for example.
The social life of a 10-year-old is as complex and fraught with peril as a Renaissance court. Alliances are forged and dissolved with bewildering speed. The status of best friend is a title that can be awarded and revoked multiple times before lunchtime. The reasons for these shifts are often opaque to the adult observer. A friendship can be irreparably fractured by a dispute over the correct rules for a game that was invented 30 seconds earlier. Navigating this is like trying to play chess on a board where the pieces randomly change function and occasionally turn into snakes.
It sounds utterly exhausting. And now, of course, this social labyrinth has a new digital dimension.
Precisely. The modern subject is a digital native. They can navigate the intricate settings of a tablet with the intuitive grace of a migrating bird, while their parents are still trying to figure out how to unmute the television. This creates a fascinating power dynamic. The child becomes the household's unpaid IT consultant, while simultaneously using their expertise to bypass every digital safeguard the parent has painstakingly put in place. They view parental controls not as a barrier, but as a stimulating intellectual puzzle.
So, to summarize for our viewers, you are living with a tiny, hyperactive lawyer who is also a performance artist, a deeply fussy food critic, a chaotic installation artist, and a tech wizard who sees your authority as a charmingly outdated suggestion. Is that a fair assessment of the humor of the situation?
It is a brutally accurate and commendably neutral summary of the core comedic paradox, Neil. The humour arises from the daily collision between the parent's world of logic, order and schedules and the child's world of squirrel-based conspiracies, existential questioning and the fundamental belief that socks are optional. The parent is essentially a straight man in a long-form improvisation with a partner who is determined to make the most surreal choices possible.
Thank you, Susan. A truly enlightening report. It seems the only logical response for a parent is to abandon logic entirely, to lean into the absurdity, to laugh at the declaration that a banana is now too spicy to be eaten, and to simply marvel at the glorious, maddening, and hilarious spectacle of a small human figuring things out. Or, failing that, to hide in a cupboard with a large bar of chocolate. Good night.